The Attorney General of the Federation had filed an extradition application at the Federal High Court in Abuja following a request by the diplomatic representative of the U.S. Embassy in Abuja. The request from the U.S. authorities to Mr. Malemi is for the surrender of Abba Kyari, who is the subject of superseding 3-count indictment. In his defense, Mr. Kyari had held that he has not committed any offense to warrant the federal government ferrying him to America. The suspended police chief told the court that more than a year before his arrest, he had written the Attorney General of the Federation and the Inspector General of Police, notifying them that he had opened a channel of communication with the suspected internet fraudster Ramon Abbas. In the 2-letter tendered in court, Mr. Kyari explained that the purpose was to gain the confidence of the suspected fraudster and lure him to come to Nigeria, where an ambush was already laid for a sting operation by his own strike force. Delivering judgment, Justice Inyang Eko held that the federal government has no basis to fight the extradition request, having put Abba Kyari on trial in Nigeria in relation to allegations against him in America. The Extradition Act is clear as one which prohibits granting extradition request for someone who has a pending criminal suit yet to be discharged by a court of competent jurisdiction, and in the case of the suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police Abba Kyari, who faces another case of alleged drug trafficking. The trial judge expressed dismay that the Attorney General Abba Kyari, being the chief law officer, should have known that the extradition suit was incompetent.
Despite leaving office in 2007, President Olusegun Obasanjo has continued to remain a relevant voice in the discourse of issues relating to Nigeria's political future. Lately, the former president had met with candidates of some of the leading political parties. A couple of weeks ago, he met with the APC presidential candidate Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. While on a trip to London, he also met with the Labour Party candidate Peter Obi and the Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike. On Sunday, he paid a visit to former President Abdulsalami Abubakar at his hilltop residence in Minna, the Niger State capital. They had a closed-door meeting that lasted about 30 minutes. After the meeting, not much was disclosed to the public as regards the content of their discussion, aside from the fact that former President Obasanjo said he came to visit his friend who was sick. It is important to note that former President Obasanjo has been assertive about his position on not supporting any candidate. He describes his interest that has led to meeting with different candidates as a national agenda. Apart from being former presidents, these two leaders have been on the political scene together for some decades. In 1979, General Abdulsalami led the parade as a captain when President Obasanjo handed power to the civilian rule of Shehu Shagari. And in 1999, while serving as the head of state, General Abdulsalami Abubakar midwifed the process of transitioning from military to democratic rule in Nigeria and handed power to President Olusegun Obasanjo, the then president-elect. After abdicating power in 1999, General Abdulsalami Abubakar has been at the forefront of campaigning for peaceful election process devoid of violence.
It's another successful day for men of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Borno Command. They have been on a consistent patrol in an effort to curb criminality in the state. This has yielded positive results with the arrest of these 8 persons. They are suspected to be engaged in various criminal activities ranging from theft to vandalism. We have the State Commandant Musa Farouk, who is going to tell us more about these successes.
They evacuated and stole several windows, Alumako products belonging to Borno State government at the teachers' village. The items numbered 84. There were 84 pieces. You all agree with me that these are facilities that were installed for the benefit of the community. Unfortunately, their greed did not make them to reason, and they had to steal those items. 3 young men found destroying armored cables which were meant to supply power. We are doing our best to carry out aggressive patrols and surveillance, but this is not enough. All citizens must be involved.
But what part are residents playing to ensure a crime-free state?
We crave the indulgence of every citizen of goodwill to provide information about the vandalism of governmental facilities. This is our collective patrimony. Today, resources are very scarce. The government cannot afford to go back to replace those things with ease.